In this video I'm going to show you how you can edit the regions in Garageband for iPad. In Garageband for iPad, regions are segments of your recordings or loops that appear in the tracks view. You can edit these regions to refine your song arrangement. This guide explains how to move, trim, split, loop and delete regions in Garageband. In order to move a region, as we've briefly touched on in other videos, you tap and hold the region you want to move and then you can move it around. If you're unable to move your region, for example if you've recorded something that's 8 bars long, just check that in the sections settings or the song section settings, it's selected to all sections. If it's just section A and it is 8 bars long, you will be unable to move your regions very far. And some students can get a bit bothered by this if they are not able to move that. So all sections within song sections, clicking this plus will get you to that click off and it allows you to move them around. If you want to copy a region, so for example, say you really like this drum loop for example, you can just tap the region, you then tap copy, put the position of the playhead to where you want it to, and then you can just tap again and then paste. If you don't like that, you can just press backspace or just tap again and then delete. Tap once to select, tap twice to bring up the menu. To trim the beginning of the end of a region, very simple then, tap the region once and then these two sections at either side allow you to move, and by tapping and holding you can get much more granular in terms of you wanted to be fine tuning the editing at the end. If you want to get to the next bar then you can just tap and drag. If you want to get more granular, just tap, hold, and then you can get more editing control over the end of that particular region. Say you wanted to then split a region, so you like the first half of the region but you maybe didn't like the second half. Tap and hold the region to select it like this, and then you can then select split. It then gives you a split marker point down the middle, and then what you do is from this point just swipe down and it then cuts through, and as you can see when we tap on it again it is split it into two different sections. To loop the region, double tap to bring out this option here and then you just tap loop. Now this is not available as in the case of this region here, then it's probably because the region is already looped. So what you do is you go into settings and then just check that looping is on or off. If you wanted to loop again, you would just deselect it, and if to select it again you would just press looping and it will then follow that on. And you can see it's looped it to the end of this particular section here. Works slightly differently. Desktop version of Garageband, you could then click and drag across the top of the timeline here. It would bring up a yellow bar and you could then loop a particular section. Deleting a region is as simple as tapping on the region and then pressing backspace if you have a Bluetooth keyboard, or double tap and then delete, and it then deletes that particular section of the region. That just about covers it for this section. Thank you very much for watching this one.